Drawing and painting with Mr. Smith. In this video, I'm going to be going over a bit of an overview of intro, advanced art, and also independent study. Those are the three levels of art that we have here at Cocalico. First, a little bit about myself. I'm originally from Lancaster County, Pennsylvania. Graduated from Lampeter-Strasburg in 2011. Right after graduating high school, I went to Kutztown University, and in 2015, I graduated with a degree in arts education. After that, took a couple gap years, and then I started teaching at Penn Manor as a long-term sub, went over to Harrisburg, taught at Central Dauphin East, also as a long-term sub, and then I came here to Cocalico about 2.5 years ago as a long-term sub. After being a long-term sub for 2 years, I applied, interviewed, and was able to earn myself the full-time position. So this semester is my very first semester as a full-time teacher. However, I have pretty much been teaching full-time for the last 3 years. Anyway, a couple things I want to get out of the way real quick when it comes to the different COVID-related issues with my class. If your child misses a couple weeks because of COVID, they are not required to be doing every single thing we're doing here in class. If your child is taking art just to try it out, try something new, but they themselves aren't necessarily looking towards art as a career, then honestly, I'm totally fine with giving them an exempt for the stuff they miss. When they come back to school, I will then get them caught up, and it really shouldn't affect their grade at all. If your student is somebody who does take art very seriously, they want to keep getting better at art, they are thinking about a career in the arts, then they are to contact me, and we will work something out together one-on-one. But that's pretty much a case-by-case thing. I am not the type of teacher to live stream the whole class and to constantly put up a whole bunch of online lessons. It's very easy for some other teachers to do that, depending on the subject matter. However, art class, unfortunately, it's just very specific to what we have here in the room. And depending on how many art materials you have at your house, you might not even be able to do the same exact project that we're doing it in here. So like I said, that's definitely a case-by-case thing. This is my email here. If you have any more questions about that, if your student, if your child is going to miss a whole bunch of school all at once, there are ways I can keep them up to date. However, I'm not automatically going to do that. Moving on. Just going to go over intro real quick. This is Intro to Art. This is the first lesson that we just did. A cartoon painting. With every single one of my lessons, I definitely try my best to allow students to have choice. For example, this one right here, they get to choose their favorite cartoon character. We practice drawing that cartoon, going over some different cartooning processes and techniques. We talk about color theory, comes to the color wheel, and then we go over some very basic painting techniques. Here's some student examples from over the years. This is basically my alternative to painting a color wheel. This is traditionally what a lot of teachers will put in front of the students, and they gotta paint in, fill in the pie sections. Lame. So instead, we talk about all the same stuff, but when it comes to applying paint, we just get to do it all around our favorite cartoon. It seems more fun to me. Kids seem to like it. This right here is the last art project at the intro level. So after a full semester with me, I challenged them with this project here. And pretty much every single student that I'm showing you right now, these are all student examples here. Pretty much every single one of these students had no idea they could even draw like this until they took my class, and I showed them the exact process, the exact steps to follow in order to make it look like this. I guess all I'm trying to say is if your child comes into my class, keeps an open mind, puts in that effort on a daily basis, they're going to be very surprised at the results, I think. Pleasantly surprised. Moving on. Something I like to go over with the parents as well as the students is rubrics for my class. I like to highlight the fact that all of my rubrics have 5 sections. 3 out of the 5 sections don't have to do with art. The last thing I want is for young people to not want to take my class because they're like, oh, I'm bad at art. If you're just even a little interested in art, I want you to come in here, take the class. Because we got things like planning. That's out of 10. Okay? Planning is just all about following directions, which applies to everything. It's not just an art thing. It applies to everything. Classwork. Are you on task? Are you, acting like a good employee, basically? I let them know. I let them know all the time. Hey, this would not cut it in the workplace. Okay? Because that's really what I feel high school is it's that last step before they're out in the world. Effort. If you don't understand something, or if something doesn't click for you the first time, it's not looking how you want it to look, are you asking me questions? Are you coming in during focus for a little bit of extra time? Are you signing things out, working on it at home? That's all about effort right there. Things like craftsmanship and technique, these have to do with art. Craftsmanship is just, are we keeping things neat and clean? Are we coloring in the lines? Are we showing that we have control? Technique, this changes with every single project. It's a painting, drawing, colored pencil, etc. Also, every single one of my rubrics can be found on Schoology. It's the folder at the very top called Rubrics for the semester, all the different units. And in each unit, there's normally about 2 rubrics. I'll have a smaller one that's out of like 20 points for some practice that we did, and then the large one is out of 50. Anyway, moving on to advanced. This is the project we're doing in advanced right now. It's a Van Gogh painting. We just finished this practice painting where we talk about some more advanced color theory, also some more technical painting techniques, and we are going to be using multiple references in order to create a piece of art. A lot of students, when they come in here, they like video games, they like movies, shows, pop culture. So they'll look at a picture like this and they're like, I want to make this. And all they do is copy that into a painting or colored pencil drawing or something. I'm pushing them to take this a step further, where we take a good piece of art that we learn about in our history, then we add a little bit of our own personality, a little bit of our own hobbies and interests in there in our own unique way. And this is going to require looking at 2, 3, 4 different references. And then we come out with a painting like this. I've also had a student who actually went ahead and sold this painting because somebody liked how it looked. There's a lot of students that can make themselves a little bit of money if they practice some of these different things that I teach them in here. Also show them how to paint on clothes in a way that the paint stays on there. It doesn't chip off, crack, nothing like that. This is a little niche thing that plenty of people would be willing to pay a lot of money for. I also give them options though. If someone makes it to advanced art and they've never done painting, then I suggest they do a reproduction where they just pick out a Van Gogh painting that they like, do a reproduction of it. This is a very typical practice for a lot of professional artists. And Anyway, moving on from advanced, talking a little bit about independent study. When it comes to independent study, it's all about building a portfolio. I have representatives from local art school, PCAD, Pennsylvania College of Art and Design, come in and give a presentation once a semester. And while they're giving the presentation, right after they give the presentation, then they give one-on-one critiques to the different students in here. And basically, I have all my students that are interested gather a portfolio, which is, a variety of their best works of art. That individual takes a look at the portfolios and tells them what is good, what are some things they need to work on. Me, myself, I also know what it takes to get into art school. I went ahead and got into art school myself, and I've been helping plenty of other students get into art school over the last 3 years. Not necessarily art school, art programs, whatever, okay? That's something that happens in here all the time. Yes, art can be fun, but it's not fun all the time. And there are plenty of things that we do in here that is going to be amazing for their art portfolio. However, is it something your child is going to want to sit down and do on their own? Probably not. So that's why they come on in here, and I push them to do some different art that they otherwise might not want to do. And it will always improve their skills and help out with their portfolio as well. So anyway, that is pretty much all I could think of to talk about. This right here is my email. So if you have a specific question, feel free to reach out to me via email right here. Other than that, I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day. Peace out.